Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to request you to subscribe to our channel if you are watching us for the first time, or if you are our regular viewer but you have not yet subscribed. To those who support our channel in one way or the other, asanteni sana. And I also want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to those who stood by my side by prayers and contribution when we got that home accident. The patient is recuperating well. May God bless you. Pia asanteni sana. Raila Odinga has opened fresh fights with William Samoei Ruto. This time round, Raila is vehemently accusing William Ruto of neglecting the Nyanza people, and is saying that there were projects that were initiated by the former regime, by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. But when William Samoei Ruto got into power, he diverted or stalled those projects intentionally. This is what is reported in one of the dailies. Raila accuses Ruto of diverting billions meant for Nyanza project, and the news continues that Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga on Thursday, May 11th, launched a scathing attack on President William Ruto, claiming his administration contributed to stalled projects in Nyanza. One of the projects that Raila is singling out is the 20 billion Koru Soil Multipurpose Dam. This dam is in Kisumu County, and it was commissioned by the former president. And this is what Raila is saying, that in last year's budget they allocated 1.5 billion for phase 1 of the project. Unfortunately, despite the fact that the contractor had reported to the site at Koru Soil Dam, that contractor was withdrawn by this government. So that is what Raila is saying. This is a project, according to Raila, that the design, the tender process and the commissioning were completed. The only thing that was pending was the release of the finances. Now, I was doing a research about this Koru Soil Dam. It is a multi-purpose dam, and the project is being supported by World Bank and French government. The government was to stand in, the national government, for the project to move on, but Raila is accusing the government of intentionally stalling this mega project. Now, when I read this story, something that caught my attention is the fact that I have seen the CS in the Ministry of ICT, Honorable Owalo, telling the Nyanza people that William Ruto is ready to work with them. Just the other day, together with Miguna, they were busy distributing food to the Nyanza residents. And then I was wondering, why would William Ruto distribute food to Nyanza people, yet a project that will help them grow their own food is being stalled? And I thought William Ruto is really a master in hoodwinking Kenyans. For those who have followed my analysis, I told you that William Ruto is very crafty. He has studied the Kenyan politics, and he knows very well that Kenyans are easily gullible and they can be cheated, because they are busy distributing food and turning those food donation meetings to political rallies where they chide Raila Odinga and they talk about the demonstrations and all this. But a project that is supposed to assist and serve more than hundreds of thousands of people is being stalled. And this really exposes this administration. It means that William Ruto does not want to help masses. I remember them telling the Nyanza people that since they had appointed somebody like Eliud Owalo and the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Interior, they are telling the Nyanza people that this means that the administration cares about them. But I'm one person who believes that you don't need to appoint a person into an office to show that you love that region. Give them something that will serve them for years. Because Eliud Owalo, yes, is a cabinet secretary. But when you help Eliud, the help will cover just a few people, maybe relatives and friends. But when you build such a dam, it will serve people. With the irrigation, they can grow their own food so that they don't depend on your donation. I also remember Rigathi Gachagua accusing Raila Odinga as the one who captured the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, and Rigathi stated very categorically that when the Mount Kenya electorates voted for Uhuru Kenyatta, he was supposed to be helping the people of Central. But instead of channeling development projects to the mountain, Raila took him away to Kisumu, to Nyanza. And this is something that he has always lamented about. So when I read this story, I felt maybe it is time that they stole these projects that they had accused Raila Odinga of taking to Nyanza. Is it time that for revenge? Are they revenging? Because it now corroborates the sentiments of the deputy president. It also corroborates the other sentiment about the Kenya Kwanza company, where they have always stated that those who did not vote for them should not expect much. Because Rigathi has always said that during the campaigns and voting was the time for planting. So those who worked with Kenya Kwanza and voted for them will get the lion's share of projects and appointments. This is coming out very, very clear. But this is not the first time I have heard certain regions lamenting about stalled projects and diverting money that is meant for a particular project. I remember in Meru and Tharaka Nithi, one of the leaders there was saying that there was a project that was meant to start. This was also another dam. They're claiming that it was taken to Machakos, and they were saying that William Ruto is intentionally neglecting them. And so this regime is full of mistakes that will cost them in the next election, if at all we will reach there, because the Azimio supporters have always told me that I should not push this regime to the next election. They want the regime to vacate office. So if at all, that's their wish, of course, but if at all 2027 will find Ruto in office, William Ruto will really have a rough time, because they have lied to each and every person, to every Tom, Dick and Harry, until the lies are no more. The lies about the former regime, claiming that they can't pay civil servants because of the loans. So with all these lies, ladies and gentlemen, it is not going to be very easy. Raila has claimed and has said that Nyanza people are taxpayers, and that every Kenyan must be part and parcel of the national cake because we pay taxes. And I remember when Rigathi Gachagua came up with the claims that they will only reward those who voted for them, then people started this campaign that those who are not part of the Kenya Kwanza company should also form their government. And I remember Mwangi wa Ria telling Raila to ensure that he now form a parallel government, those who do not belong to the Kenya Kwanza Limited company. So this has really exposed them, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think Raila is right? Because Raila says that maybe Ruto is revenging. On one side, he's telling the people that he's ready to work with them because he's distributing food. But on the other side, major projects that are supposed to help them are being stalled. Is there any project in your area? I remember there was a mega road somewhere in the mountain that was also stalled, and remember that the residents had to go to the streets making noise about this project. And so, is William Ruto playing around with people? Is there some ulterior motive that we don't understand? What do you think about the claims by Raila Odinga? Do you think it's just another political gimmick, or do you think he's right? Share with me, because it seems that several leaders are now coming up and they've started complaining. The other day, I remember the Archbishop Ole Sapit chided William Ruto because he was saying that William Ruto is now appointing only 2 tribes into public offices. And these are not coming from Raila Odinga and Ole Sapit alone. The other day, the Law Society of Kenya went to court with the same claims. Don't you think it is high time that this regime wakes up from the slumber? That is my take.